Tell me about that smile.
It just got really animated, and I'm sitting on the floor in my office right now, and there's this like music from some like Disney movie or something, and the papers are like walking over to the file cabinet, and like I'm like, okay, you go to A, and they like hop into the little A file, and it's just they're just like kind of doing it on their own.
Absolutely wonderful. And how does that feel?
Feels good. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of hanging out and it's sitting on the floor, so I'm totally relaxed, and I feel like I'm coordinating it with like my little magic wand or something.
Excellent. Very good. Now I'd like you to just imagine, sense, and feel, Mitch. It's a day in the very near future, and you're so excited to get this done. You're really digging it. Those papers need your attention. It's something that you need to do, and you enjoy giving them your attention. And it's fun, and it's animated, and you're kind of bopping along and moving through the papers, and the papers are moving with you, and it feels so good to have them all where they need to go. It feels good to be this organized, knowing that you really appreciate yourself for doing this work. Fill in all the details of that for yourself. Make it as rich and vivid as you'd like. And when that feels complete, just nod your head. Excellent. Very good. Now, before we end this part of the session today, Mitch, is there anything that you'd like to say or do, or anything you'd like me to say or do?
It was fun.
Okay, excellent. So take your time, and when you're ready to just come fully back into the space here, you can just open your eyes. It's bright.
I know I don't want to open my eyes because I'm in this Disney movie right now. Mickey Mouse is like swirling around and floods are coming in to this incredible music. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
that movie?
Fantasia, the
Fantasia,
Sorcerer's
that's what it
Apprentice.
is. That's what it is, and that's how I'm seeing my papers moving around the room, and I'm like Mickey Mouse in the middle. Okay.
So it feels pretty good to organize those papers?
Yeah.
Excellent, wonderful.
With my magic wand.
And you have a couple of magic wands
I
in your
do.
office, don't you?
I do. Whoa, it is bright in here.
It is very bright in here. Fantastic. So, is there anything you want to say about your session, or do you have any questions about your session?
You know, I think what was one of the most significant things towards the end of it was, at the beginning I said, oh, it feels amusing because, like, it's never going to happen, you know? And then at the end of it, it felt amusing because it was just so easy. You
Awesome.
know? So it's that same sense of amusement, only it felt like there was actually getting something done.
It's amusing, but it's amusing because it's so easy.
Because it's so easy.
And while you're doing it, I mean, papers are dancing around, and you get to be a sorcerer.
Exactly.
Excellent. Very good.
So I'm bringing my magic wand home with me today.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Mitch, for
thank you.
allowing yourself to be a demo so that people can see this amazing process of mapping across.
It's you know, it's so amazing about that. Just noticing how that, like, when I immediately went to that picture, it was so clear to me that it was this little tiny picture way off to the side, and it was really crooked, and I didn't want to look at it, and I really wanted to avoid it, and it made my whole body shut down. How I take an event or a situation and how I can put it, like, I can't even talk. Compartmentalize it into a picture. And I could really get a sense of every time I think of my office, that's the picture that I see. I realized that, like, I used to see, exactly, like I never was aware of it, but I really got a sense when as soon as you put my attention to it, like, oh yeah, that's exactly how it shows up for me every time.
Right.
So I make up that that's probably what we do with everything in our life, isn't it?
Everything gets compartmentalized, as you said so eloquently, into these little files. We don't even know that we're using these submodalities or these ways of seeing, hearing, and feeling our thoughts. I mean, we just have a thought and we go on, but behind the scenes, there's all of these things going on. It's black and white or it's color, and this thing is true, so it's in color, and that thing's a lie, so it's in black and white. It's not something we stop and really think about doing. Every once in a while, somebody will say something like, you said to me just earlier, you said, you know, I realized when you have something you don't believe in, how does it show up for you?
Shows up in black and white and upside down.
Yeah, so, you know, this is one of the ways that our brain maps information. It's one of the ways that we compartmentalize, that we categorize. And once we start checking in and going, oh, I didn't realize I did that, then we can start tweaking those submodalities. Is it black and white or color? Do you hear it inside your head or outside of your head? To make it either feel better or not feel as bad as it felt. Like, one of the things I noticed about when I started looking at my submodalities is every time I remembered something that was happy, I always saw it from a distance, so I was never inside my body. I watched myself in a happy event. Now, when you watch yourself from a distance, you distance yourself from the emotion. So I learned to put myself in my body during happy events, the memory of happy events, so I could see it out of my own eyes. I could feel it more. And what I was doing with sad or negative events is I was riding my body, so I could feel all those icky feelings.
Switch that, yeah.
I switched it, so I was out during the bad times and in during the good times. So now my happy memories are much more vibrant. I can feel them so much more in my body. So these are some of the little tips and tricks that you can use when you're realizing that you're recalling a scene, because we do have those little miniature regressions all the time. Like, if it's not feeling how you want it to feel, or you're not reaching the goal you want to reach, how do you get there? By just changing these different categories.
So in other words, you can notice how it shows up for you, and if it's something that you're not feeling good about, or a thought or a memory, an idea that isn't really a good feeling, change it. If it's showing up in front of you, move it away a little bit. If it's showing up really bright colors and kind of in your face, mute the colors a little bit. If it has really loud, scratchy Siamese cat sounds in your head,
sounds.
Yeah, then just quiet it and bring it. You get to change the picture until it feels good to you. So from then on, when that shows up for you in the future, you have a whole new way of looking at it and feeling about it. It's a little bit further out in front of you, so it's not as intimidating. Maybe the colors are a little muted, so it's not as scary. Maybe it's color instead of black and white, so it's not as sad.
Right, exactly. However that shows up for you, just change it, as Mitch said. And once again, I just want to thank you, Mitch. If you have any questions about this or anything else that we talk about on the show, please feel free to email us at info@itsyourmindthatmatters.com. You can also sign up for our free newsletter at www.itsyourmindthatmatters.com. Thank you for tuning in once again. We hope that this was helpful information for you. Mitch and I certainly have a great time getting in front of the camera and doing this, and have a wonderful evening.
And thank you.